Committee on your agenda if you're keeping score at home. We are doing a little bit out of order this evening. We're waiting on a quorum to do the Park Operations Committee that was scheduled for 5:50 because there's an action item that needs to move forward out of that. It's the same reason why we're flipping the order of items in the Planning and Development Committee. But we will get that one started now since it is 6:05. So Linwood.
Seeing that it's 6:05, I'd like to call the Planning and Development Committee to order, and like to have Sam Hudson present the quarterly project status report for us.
Good evening, everyone. So this is the second quarter quarterly status. Good. And so the first project up is the Wakefield Park Trail Improvement Project. So this was completed in May of 2023. This was an installation of approximately 250 feet of paved trail. And Wendy was the project manager.
Excuse me, is there any chance you can improve your microphones there? I'm barely here. I'm hearing a whisper.
Is this better?
How much?
Okay. Okay, fantastic. And so this project, it was it utilized transportation improvement funds, and Wendy Lee was the project manager. The second project here is the Wakefield Park Wash Pad Repair Project. This included the repair of the underground piping for the recycled water wash pad at Wakefield Park Maintenance Facility. Project used sinking funds and was completed just in June. Andy Miller was the project manager. Next project is the water fountain replacement at Wakefield Park. So this included installing a new concrete pad, using the existing water line, and replacement of the water fountain that was removed during the skate park construction. This was a cross-agency collaboration with Park Ops, Park Services, and Development, and was completed in August. Kelly Davis and Alan Crawford were the staff on this. And then moving to the Drainsville District. This project is Kent Gardens Park Trail Improvements, and the scope of work included 1,250 linear feet of asphalt trail. This project utilized FCDOT pedestrian and bicycle improvement project funds provided by the Board of Supervisors. This was completed in July, and the project manager was Pat Rosen. Next district is Franconia District, and the Area 3 Maintenance Shop HVAC Controls Upgrade Project. This was completed just in April, and the project manager for this was Keith Snyder. This project used FY22 carryover funding from the Office of Environmental and Energy Coordination. Manchester Lakes Park Playground Replacement Project. This was completed just in May 2023. The project manager was Pat Rosen, and it included the replacement of the existing playground, as well as a new ADA access and extensive drainage work. This was completed with 2020 bond funds. And the Franconia Rec Center AHU Buffalo Replacement Project. This project included design and installation of 2 rooftop units and a new structural steel platform to replace the aging 1988 Buffalo Air Handling Unit serving the gym. And Sayonara Aguilera was the project manager. This was completed in May of 2023. And it was funded by bond premium and the 2020 park bond. And the Stony Brook Park Stone Mason Change of Use project. This was a project that Planning and Development worked in support of Park Services to obtain a change of use permit to allow a preschool to be provided in this building. Sayonara Aguilera was our project manager for it, and the project was completed in July 2023. Moving on to the Hunter Mill District. With the irrigation at Cunningham Park, the scope of work for this, it included installing new main lines, wiring heads, valves, and controllers for 2 baseball diamond fields. The project used funding from park renovations and upgrades, as well as 2020 bond, or in the 2020 bond, excuse me. And it was completed in May 2023, and Sam Govender was the project manager. And the next project is the Leahy House at Leahy Lost Valley Park. And the scope of work for this included waterproofing the historic portion of the Leahy Lost Valley House. It involved removing old, deteriorated, and incorrect mortar from exterior elevations and replacing with NHL 3.5 hydraulic lime mortar. And the project used Natural and Cultural Stewardship 2020 bond funding. And it was completed in July 2023. Heather Lynch from Planning and Development and David Bukta from R&D worked on this project. So this next project is a Sugarland Run Stream Valley Bridge Replacement Project. The scope of this project included the design, fabrication, and installation of a structural steel pedestrian bridge across Sugarland Run near the Sugarland Run Stream Valley Trail, as well as related trail improvements. The bridge connects Hunter Mill and Dreamsville districts. And the design of this project was funded by the 2020 park bond, and additional ARPA funds were made available for construction. And the project managers for this were Sayonara Aguilera and Tom McFarland. This was completed in July 2023. And now to the Mason District. So this is a land acquisition in Holmes Run Stream Valley. The property was actually dedicated to the Park Authority in 1992. The land records weren't updated, and so we're catching up on this now. And this consisted of one parcel that was 21.88 acres. And the next project is the Jefferson District Golf Clubhouse, HVAC controls and upgrades. The scope of work for this project included installing new HVAC control systems. And the project used FY22 carryover funding from the Office of Energy and Environmental Coordination, and it was completed in April 2023. Keith Snyder was the project manager. And
Sam, before you move on to the next district, can you go back to the Land Act one? So for 30 years, we had a park we didn't know about. How does that happen? Do we have any idea?
I can check on the
Okay.
history.
Do we think that's likely to have happened somewhere else? Do we have another 20-acre park somewhere?
Remind me, so this is a while ago.
Yeah.
When this happened. If I remember correctly, we were operating it as, I think that the green didn't change, right?
Yeah, the park is exactly the same as it has always been, and the trails are there. It's just that this is a very soggy wetland area. It's pretty much a marsh. So I'm honestly surprised too, but that we didn't have it recorded, but it's a park we've used and had access to all the time.
Okay.
I think real estate across the street is starting to clean up records as well.
Okay.
We are too, and we're gonna start to digitize everything. And
So it's possible there could be. Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
Okay.
Now to the Mount Vernon District. At Laurel Hill Golf Club, the Eisman Golf Academy training facility was completed. And the scope of this included facilitation services to a privately led permitting and construction of the facility that expands the availability of golf lessons and instruction at Laurel Hill Golf Club. The project was funded with private funds, and the project managers for this were Paul Shirey and Andy Miller. North Hill Park construction. The project included trails, a pavilion, playground, fitness area, multi-use courts, benches, and picnic tables on a 12-acre parcel. This was funded through the bond and funding from Housing and Community Development. And the project manager for this was Alex Burdick. The ribbon cutting was just last weekend, I believe. And garden plots at Laurel Hill. The scope of this included 19 additional garden plot areas and support or related facilities and support. And this was funded through stormwater penalty funds that came from the Department of Public Works and Environmental Services. The project manager for this was Kelly Davis, and it was completed in July 2023. The next project is also at Laurel Hill Golf Course, the Virginia Water Protection Permit, and this is something that occurs every 15 years. So we apply for a permit for supplemental water for golf course irrigation. And it allows for, the permit allows for continued operations of existing surface water intake. And this was completed by Heather Lynch, and the permit will be in place until July 12, 2038. And then moving on to the Providence District. This is a trail connection to the Custis Parkway at John Mastenbrook Greenway Downs Park. And this project was completed in June 2023, and Mohammed Mahmoud was the project manager. The project utilized FCDOT pedestrian and bicycle improvement project funds provided by the Board of Supervisors. And this project at Dunmoring Park, it's another trail project that was paving from Stonewall Drive to the tennis courts. The project utilized FCDOT pedestrian and bicycle improvement funds that came from the Board of Supervisors. Mohammed Mahboub was also the project manager on this, and this was completed in June 2023. Now moving to the Springfield District. At Greendale Golf Clubhouse, the HVAC controls upgrade project was completed. This project utilized FY22 carryover funding from the Office of Energy and Environmental Coordination. It was completed in April 2023, and Keith Snyder was the project manager. And at South Run Park, grouped irrigation project was completed. The project utilized funding from park renovations and upgrade and the 2020 bond. Sam Govinder was the project manager. And trail improvements were completed at Springfield Forest Park. The scope of work, it included improving 1,254 linear feet of trail, as well as 3 culverts. The project utilized transportation improvement funds that came from the Board of Supervisors. Wendy Lee was the project manager, and this was completed in May of 2023. Now moving to the Sully District. This is a land acquisition at Elkwood Preserve. The property was donated to us, and it was originally part of a large tract of land that was primarily located in Loudoun County. And so the little corner that was in Fairfax County was dedicated to us. It's just under an acre. And this was recorded in April 2023. That completes the quarterly status report.
That's a busy quarter. Congratulations.
Was.
Rob, and Everybody that worked on all these things.
May I also say that it looked like quite a number of the projects came in well under the scope estimate. So kudos to all those involved in making that happen. It's always nice to save money, so.
Any other questions?
Yeah, could I ask one question? We don't need to answer it now.
Ron, just wait. First, Abuna had her hand up first, and then I will
Okay.
read you in. Just wait a second.
Go ahead.
So kind of tied to what Tim was saying, that's impressive that we were under budget, but I was just curious. In those instances, or are there instances within that where some part of the project was abandoned because maybe it wasn't tenable,
Not that I'm
Not
aware
that
of.
I-
or so these were
Yes,
purely under?
Yeah. yes.
Okay, Ron, I'll read you in, and then you can ask your question. Virginia, the first motion, Virginia law authorizes the remote participation of board members, provided that a policy exists to ensure that such remote participation is consistently administered. This board has approved policy 111. Any such remote attendance must be approved by the board as long as a physical quorum of the board is actually present. Voice of the remote participant is able to be heard by everyone in the room, and the remote participation comports with the policy. Verification that the remote participant's voice is clear, audible, and at an appropriate volume for the meeting room, and confirmation of their location. We have one member joining remotely this evening, and they have received preliminary approval. Ron, are you connected to this meeting remotely?
Yes, I am.
And can you let us know where you are calling from?
I'm calling in from my home in Mason District.
Great, thank you. I move that Mr. Kendall's voice may be adequately heard in this location.
Tonight, myself.
All in favor?
Yeah, no, my only request is if you could refresh me on what the Eisman contract is.
We're not done yet.
Oh, even more. Okay.
Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Second motion, verification that remote participants' physical absence comports with the policy pursuant to the Park Authority's policy 111. Remote participation in public meetings. I move that Mr. Ron Kendall be permitted to participate remotely in this meeting because it comports with the policy we adopted, and a physical quorum is present here at the Park Authority Boardroom 9th floor, Harity Building.
Tim Ackman, second.
All in favor? Do we have any opposed? All right, Ron, you are free to ask your question now.
Oh, yeah, no, I just, one was I wanted to ask if at some point I could see the contract particulars for Eisman and what we agreed to for the building. It can be some future date. And the other thing is you surprised me because I had always thought that Greendale was in Franconia District, not Springfield. So you surprised me tonight.
Yes. So could you tell me again what the Manchester Lakes project cost, what that cost was? And could I see that frame again?
So that was a replacement playground at the same place. And I think if we can get through to it, I think it was about what the cost of Manchester Lakes playground replacement was.
I went looking for it. Okay.
150.
Okay. I don't know how I missed it. And then, okay. Thank you. Is there a building too adjacent to it?
Nodded,
Okay,
not that I'm aware of.
okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's gonna do the presentation? Sorry, I don't know your name.
Randall Farren with the Park Planning Branch.
Thank you very much, Randall.
Hi, so we actually don't have a formal presentation for you all, on this item this evening. At the previous meeting, our colleague Stephanie Cornejo, presented an update on the Parks Recreation, Open Space and Access Strategy, including a review of our final round of engagement and our public outreach events. And just before that meeting, you all also received, the final draft of the PROSA report. Staff has reviewed your comments from the previous meeting. We did receive one comment as well via email. And we really appreciate the helpful feedback that you all have provided throughout this process. And on those final comments, we look forward to incorporating some of your suggestions into the web-based GIS platform and story map that will accompany the report. So once the park board endorses the PROSA strategy report, next we'll proceed with updating the website. And then we look forward to launching that GIS-based platform and story map in the coming months. And look forward to your continued feedback and involvement as we move forward with implementation of PROSA. So with that, staff respectfully requests your endorsement of the PROSA strategy final draft report this evening.
Any questions or comments on the draft that was distributed earlier this week? Seeing no questions, consensus to move this forward?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
So, moving. Is there any other business to come before the Planning and Development Committee? Being none, I adjourn the Planning and Development Committee and continue backwards day. I call the Park Operations Committee to order. Kim and David. thank you for your-
Hello, everyone. Kim Agar, Division Director, Park Operations Division. Tonight, we just had one Master Book grant from the Great Falls Grange Foundation for your consideration. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our Heritage Conservation Manager, David.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Like I said, I know most of you, David Booker with the Heritage Conservation Branch. And it's my pleasure to present to you a Master Book grant request from the Great Falls Grange Foundation. Next slide, please. Great Falls Grange Foundation is requesting a Master Book grant for $15,763. If approved, the grant will help fund installation of the central HVAC system for the historic Forestfield Schoolhouse picture, located in the Great Falls Grange Park in the Grainesville District. The schoolhouse, which is now leased to the Great Falls Grange Foundation under MOU, serves as a community center and a space for meetings, classes, and private events. The lack of air conditioning has sharply limited its use during the summer months. So the Grange Foundation has worked with FPPA staff to identify an HVAC solution that would extend the use of the schoolhouse. Next slide, please. Proposed facility plan consists of a compressor unit placed behind the schoolhouse and screened by native plantings, as depicted in the photo. The project area will be limited to the schoolhouse and will have minimal aesthetic impact to the historic setting. Within the building, floor heat strips will be replaced by wooden baseboard to match the existing wood. And the Heritage Conservation Branch has reviewed all of this aesthetic or appropriateness for the schoolhouse. The project team has consulted with the Architecture Review Board to ensure the project meets guidelines. Next slide. Total project cost is $31,526. As shown on this slide, most of that is for the central HVAC equipment, and roughly $4,000 will cover the interior floor heater removal and baseboard work. The Grange Foundation will manage the project through their vendor ELEC Multi-Services. Staff from the Heritage Conservation Branch and Facilities and Equipment Management Branch will provide technical oversight. The total funding will come from the Greens Foundation and the Maston Brook Grant in equal amounts. Next slide, please. Review, the amount of the requested Maston Brook grant is $15,763. If this grant is approved, the balance in funding allotted to the Maston Brook Matching Grant Funds Grant Program will stand at $705,385. Next slide, please. Thank you very much. Are there any questions?
I would just comment that the Great Falls Grange Foundation has moved very quickly to shoulder their part of this partnership agreement, collaboration agreement. I really very much.
Yeah, we've done painting, we've done bathroom, pictures.
They have, yeah.
They've done a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we're pleased with it so far. I think.
Anybody else? Thank you very much, Kim and David. Anybody else have any other business to come before the park?
Forward.
You're right. But anyway, consensus moving forward.
Yes.
Anybody have any other business for the park operations? Seeing none, the park operations committee is adjourned.
Budget, that's you.
So the next item on the agenda is the budget committee. In Quincy's absence, call the budget meeting. And Mike Peter will be presenting.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hackman. This is a follow-up. If you recall, we laid out our schedule for the overall budget development. And where we are right now, we're right at the end of September. So we have completed our phase one of our public comment, which is making sure that we're collecting all the public comment on the first version of the budget that was put together just a few weeks ago. We've incorporated that. We've also incorporated the change that Chairman Stone had requested we put in this budget package. So during the time period that we had comments for phase one open, starting with the day after the last board meeting until this past Friday at noon, we have received 37 comments. Those comments are in the board package as well, if you'd like to read those. And we separated those. All of them were really focused on our non-recommended budget reductions. 23 of them focused on environmental and ecology concerns. 13 of them were focusing on our general parks and amenities. And one, I say it's a specific sports focus, but it actually said, don't cut anything, we need more pickleball courts. So I saved that one for Jay especially. So with that, that's really the overall summary that we've received. We've already talked a little bit about the budget guidance. We're moving through this. The big change, as I said, if you go towards the bottom of this chart, we have increased from a forestry request of $890,000 to an overall park operations and maintenance restoration of $2.1 million. So our overall package request is now $8,052,299. And I'll just go straight to that item, just so we can see what these items specifically are. Again, on the first line, that's $890,000 to fully fund our contract operations for only high-risk tree removal. Also, as we identified with this whole shortfall that we have in terms of the $2.1 million gap, there's also an additional costs that we've had related to our athletic field mowing that we have covered by holding some positions vacant. Same thing with our park open space mowing. Athletic court maintenance, we have many different types of courts, but when you bring together the multi-use courts and pickleball overlays, we have more than 400 athletic courts throughout the county and a backlog right now of 75 that are rated at really DRF. So they're at the risk of potentially really failing. And by restoring this money, we can actually get to that backlog and also increase our overall maintenance efforts in athletic courts. Trail maintenance funding, being able to fully fund an additional $150,000 that would allow us to really focus on more than an average of a mile or so of trail maintenance and small renovations during the year. And then, of course, the bread and butter of the general fund would be our general park and facility maintenance. We have several maintenance projects. I know we've talked about that in previous meetings, and being able to allocate another $395,000 would allow us to deal with those issues from restrooms to irrigation controllers to everything that you really see that maintains the beauty of our parks. We'd be able to deal with those in a more proactive basis. So that's really, Chairman Stone, what comes to that $2.1 million total. And we have had the opportunity to discuss this, and we've also made our Department of Management and Budget aware of this additional change that we're contemplating.
Before we move off this slide, is this how it will be? Probably not in a slide version, but is this the information that'll be shared with DMB? So we'll see the breakdown. Okay. And then the budget amount, I assume, is what we spent last year.
It's what's actually in our budget, either in the general fund or in what we call our construction and operating fund. The projected need is closer to what we spent last year.
That was my next question, is what does the need represent? Okay. So that's what we actually, something approximating what we actually spent. Okay. That was it. Sorry.
Then as we move forward, then here we are on September 27th. What our plan is after this meeting, we will post this presentation as well as, of course, including the additional information that we put in the $2.1 million slide. We will open up for phase 2 public comment. We've already received some public comment in between times. They're mainly focused on don't cut the general fund budget. We'll keep that open. We'll incorporate those comments, and then we'll be coming back on October 25th for the final version that will be seeking endorsement of the board for that budget request package.
Okay. That's it. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. We don't need to a consensus for this because we're waiting for approval at a later time. So, any other presentations at this committee? If not, any other matters? If not, we can adjourn. Thank you.
All right, we are in recess until, when does the actual meeting start? 7 or 7:30? 7:30.
7:30. Okay.
Fine, we're good. No, we're all good. Are we live?
I've been recording.
Good, you see? It is your good. All right, it is 7:30, so we can get started with the formal agenda this evening. Everybody's read in, so I don't need to do that. Ben Boxer's not here, so I don't need to ask about speakers. Who do I ask now? I ask Amy now. Do we have any speakers this evening? No, all right.
Right on top of that answer.
Don't deny her.
All right, we'll get into the administrative items. Administrative item number 1 is recommended adoption of the minutes of September 13th, 2023 Park Authority Board meeting. Do we have a motion?
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Action item number 1 in the Drainsville District is a recommended approval of the Masson Brook Volunteer Matching Fund grant request from the Great Falls Grange Foundation in the amount of $15,063. And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Countywide action item number 2 is a recommended endorsement of the final Parks, Recreation, Open Space and Access Strategy Report. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Congratulations.
No opposed, that motion carries. Congratulations, Sam. Information item, we had 1 this evening, and that is the aforementioned Parks, Recreation, Open Space and Access Strategy Project update as presented to and reviewed by the Communications and Community Engagement Committee at our last meeting. I have no chairman's matter. Right over to you.
All right, so. All right, next slide. The first slide. So we had the second ribbon cutting at North Hill Park. The first one was for the affordable housing new facility, and then we went back out and did a ribbon cutting for the park. Saturday, September 16th. It's a major milestone in the transformation of North Hill from a vibrant residential community with a park at its center. Residents are already embracing the park. Cleanup activities have collected more than 176 bags of trash and 5 tons of large debris. At the park are a large community playground, outdoor fitness area, basketball and pickleball courts, large open lawn, picnic area and pavilion, and winding trails. I heard a rumor that Chairman McKay played pickleball during the ribbon cutting, so that was great. Next slide.
Everybody notice it? I'm in the director's matters pictures first time.
Your first time? Linwood, be careful, because now all that everybody's gonna see are pictures of you.
I think you were in the Laurel Hill,
Wonder why.
Yes, you were.
Laurel
Now we're gonna
Hill
go back and show receipts.
Garden plots.
So then we're gonna have a receipts next time, and we're gonna have a where's Linwood, and we're gonna show your face.
Our challenge flag.
Yes. Also, we had the Virginia Native American Festival on Saturday, September 6th. We hosted that at Riverbend Park. We had representatives from the Rappahannock tribe, the Chickahominy tribe, and the Mattapony tribe in attendance. The day included hands-on activities, entertainment, demonstrations, storytelling, artistic displays, and crafts with Virginia tribal vendors. Parking lot was filled to capacity, which little over 1,000 people in total attendance. Always a very popular event. Next slide. Okay, one of my favorite events is the rodeo, ROADEO. The rodeo is a competition of operations and maintenance staff here in Fairfax County. So it will be us, schools, DPWES, facilities, maybe FMD. So they go and they compete in various categories. So you see our winners, the bottom, so Kubota, Zero Turn, they set up mazes and tasks, like the bucket truck has to do specific things. The mini excavator, you have to pick up a basketball, put it in a trash can, pick up a ring, put it in and it's timed. And so this is an actual competition, and the winners end up going first, second, and third place. They qualify for regionals. So this turns into a big thing. Regionals are going to be in Norfolk this year. And this is you can, win nationals in these activities. It's great camaraderie. We had a large increase in staff that participated this year. Everybody knows how much I love to win, and you can see all of our winners here listed. It's a fun time. It's a great day, and it's really awesome to watch the skill level of these men and women who do their work every day. So the rodeo was great. Next slide. And we're gonna focus on the Watermine family swimming hole. We're gonna go through some numbers for the Watermine. We had one of our highest revenues ever. Cindy, is that inaccurate? Yep. So we're gonna compare summer 2021, 22, and 23. Our total revenue in 21 was 1.3 million, 22 is 1.3 million, and 23, we went up to 1.4 million. Our total admission is up 9%, and total revenue is up 11%. And then the total admission numbers here, summer 2021, 87. Thank you. 750, my brain broke. Summer 2022, 86,000, and summer 2023, 93,000. So our total admissions were up again. I know I say it all the time, but for the people in the back, I'll remind everybody, this is one of our most popular amenities. If you've never been to the Watermine, please go. It's also one of our most diverse amenities. You go to the Watermine and you see people from absolutely everywhere coming together. It's just one of the best. Just walk around. If you've never been there, just come on, walk around the thing and just see the diversity that's at this site.
We stay open weekends after Labor Day, or we close it up?
We close on Labor Day. We stay open on weekends only when college goes back. right? August, what's our last day
High
for,
school.
Hmm?
After FCPS starts.
after FCPS starts? That was our last, we were every day until FCPS starts, and then after that, we're weekends only until Labor Day. I will say, we did not have to close, do we have to close this year? For lack of, probably
No.
shouldn't ask you this at open session.
No.
We went all season without having, so, I mean, I think that's, the other thing about the water mine, it's such a microcosm with everything, so we've got dedicated HR, we have so many, to open the door, you need 85 people to walk into work, just to open the door, that's concessions, lifeguards, supervisors, everything, so the keeping that amount of staff in front of point of sale, amount of staff engaged in there and not having to ever say, we don't have enough staff to open is quite a feat. We opened on time and our competitors did not this summer. They were not able to get it done and get enough lifeguards and everything to start. So Watermine is a significant win all the time. Next slide, I think that's the last one. That's it.
All right, going around the horn, Abner,
I'll pass.
Jim,
Okay.
Ron, you got anything for us? Bill?
I'll pass today.
I just want to thank you, Mr. Chairman, and the rest of the board for being notified that I won the chairman's award for the I will happily accept that award on behalf of the entire board because there is no I in team. So I appreciate that very much, but it's a collective effort and I thank you for it.
Looking forward to hand that off on the Ellie Doyle's in 2 months, month and a half.
What did I have?
Faisal?
All right, since you brought it up, so thank you for your service. You very well deserving award. I wish we could do more and all such legendary performance throughout the years must be rewarded and rewarded on time before the person dies. That's what I believe. Yeah. So there's no point in remembering someone when he's yes. Let him feel good. And with that,
I'm also reminded that's before you died.
Thank you very much, Linwood. I appreciate it.
Faisal, if you're gonna say something like that, make sure I'm not drinking it. I almost snorted all over everything. Linwood?
That's it.
Oh, okay, you nothing else. Cynthia?
Ditto, ditto, ditto. I don't have anything else. I believe we did have a great Ellie Doyle meeting today. Thanks, team Ellie. And we got lots of exciting things in store for you. You'll see. That's it.
Tim? All righty. We have,
Ron,
I asked Ron, he passed. All right, we don't have anything else coming for us. We do have a closed session item this evening. Cynthia, you have a motion for us.
Yes, I do. I move the Park Authority Board recess and convene in closed session for discussion and consideration of matters enumerated in Virginia Code 2.2-3711 and listed in the agenda for the meeting as follows. A discussion of consideration of the acquisition of publicly held real estate for a public purpose or for the disposition of publicly held real estate property or real property, where discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body pursuant to Virginia Code 2.2-3711 A3. Consideration of the additional, okay, that's it.
All right,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion carries and Allison, you'll let us know when we're in.
I move that the,
We gotta get back on the computer and open the door. We're live on the computer. All right, now you can do the motion.
Questions come up in open session.
move the Park Authority Board return to open session.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, then I'll call for certification of topics discussed in closed session.
I move the Park Authority Board certify that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under Virginia Code 2.2-3712, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the board.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion to support the potential land dedication in the Summit District as well as in closed session.
Do we have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'd
That
also
motion.
like to make a motion to approve the addition of the property located in the Summit District adjacent to Club Run Stream Valley to the work plan.
One second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Allison, we got nothing else, right? All right, then I adjourn the meeting. Reminder to everyone, we do not meet in 2 weeks. We meet in basically a month, right? October 25th. And we will just have one meeting a month, the rest of the year, one in October, one in November, one in December, and our meeting with November is a joint with EQUAC.
It will not be this late.
Okay,
That we are adjourned.
question, who